Hello, and welcome to another edition of Only in Illinois, your weekly video recap from Reboot Illinois. I'm Madeline Dubeck here with Matt Dietrich, and we are about 12 days away from the official election day. People are already early voting.
Right.
And a couple of new indicators out there.
Well, we had the Chicago Tribune just this week has a new poll out, and it shows what our polling 2 weeks ago showed and what
In
the
the
Sun
governor's race
Times
we're talking about.
right, and what the Sun Times polling showed in the governor's race, which is it's a dead heat according to the polls. After a summer when Bruce Rauner really ran away with things, and even a month ago, the Tribune did another poll. They had Bruce Rauner behind by 11 points. They had Quinn way ahead. Now it seems like every poll that comes in has the two of them neck and neck, which is what we expected.
And within the margin of error, so it's really anybody's race, and it will depend on who turns out and how the votes are counted.
Right. Now, along with that, just as the election gets ever closer, we find both candidates, Pat Quinn and Bruce Rauner, dealing with some issues that they would both rather see go away.
Absolutely, and we'll start with Pat Quinn, the incumbent. This week, a federal magistrate ordered that the Department of Transportation in the state of Illinois have a federally appointed hiring monitor to oversee any hiring that goes on there because of problems with politically connected people getting jobs and then getting protection in those jobs so they couldn't just be easily fired, dating back as far as 2009.
Right.
So not a good thing for him because he has Quinn. He says that he took care of this problem as soon as he was made aware of it, we should say. But he's also tried to run this campaign as I've been working to try to clean up the ethical problems from my predecessor. Right. And so this doesn't help him with that narrative.
And this comes right after the Neighborhood Recovery Initiative, Dust Up, had really kind of faded quite a bit after we had the big Legislative Audit Commission hearing. That sort of fell out of the news. It hasn't fallen out of the campaign advertising from Bruce Rauner, but wasn't quite the smoking gun, so to speak, that the opposition had thought it was going to be.
Right.
Now, Bruce Rauner, on the other hand, he's got some things going on too that he would like to see sort of fade away very quickly as Election Day approaches.
So we're talking about the resignation this week of Dave McKinney, who appeared on a panel for us this summer, with us this summer, and is a fine journalist who I've known for more than 30 years. We went to college together. Dave felt it necessary to resign this week after he believed that his reporting and his methods were being questioned not by the editor and publisher at the Sun-Times, but by the chairman of the board of the Sun-Times, Michael Farrow, and he posted a resignation letter publicly that he sent to Michael Farrow. All of this revolving around some reporting that Dave did with Carol Marine and Don Mosley at NBC5 about a lawsuit several years back in which a female executive alleged that Bruce Rauner threatened her and her family.
Right, and Bruce Rauner, this has come up in two different debates, and Bruce Rauner has emphatically said the lawsuit was frivolous, it was all dismissed.
And I did not say those things to that woman. So what sort of problems does this cause for Bruce Rauner?
It makes people wonder if this campaign exerted this kind of pressure, if they did, is this how a Governor Rauner would govern? Would we have this kind of, hardball, strong-arm tactics being worked all the time? And again, it's a problem for Bruce Rauner because his biggest trouble throughout this campaign is that he needs to get himself known to people. He needs to fight back against this image that Pat Quinn has been creating for him, that he is a out-of-touch plutocrat.
You and I have been around the block a few times in journalism and media and politics, and so for those of you who don't have the background, it's not unusual for a campaign to go above a reporter's head
Right.
a few steps and complain about a story or try to stop a story or question its publication. As Dave noted himself in his resignation letter, that's fairly common. What's different here is that Bruce Rauner used to be among the investors
Right, with Michael Farrow.
with Michael Farrow in the Sun-Times. So it's all become quite a convoluted mess that could potentially
Right.
affect the outcome of this race. We'll see how this all plays out. They're both dealing with probably the heat of the hottest governor's campaign we can recall in some time, and it's gonna come down to the wire.
Exactly, and it's so close. If, you know, generally we try to put a disclaimer on any poll discussion to say, don't let this discourage you from voting, because oftentimes polls will show one candidate so far out in front of the other that people think, why vote? This is the opposite. Pay attention to these polls because it shows why your vote is going to count in this.
Every single vote will count, absolutely. So do your duty. That's it for this week. Thanks for watching. We appreciate it, and we'll see you on the next edition of Only in Illinois.